Living with the threat of potential terrorist attacks has become a way of life for Americans. While local law enforcement are recognizing behaviors consistent with crimes related to terrorism, everyone has a responsibility to keep our communities safe. If you see something suspicious, say something. Report a behavior or activity that is unusual or out of the ordinary, and let the experts decide if it's a threat. You should not make reports based on a person's race, ethnicity, or religious affiliation. It's all about suspicious behaviors or activities that could have a link to terrorism. If you see something, say something. Go to iWatchLA.org. iWatch is a community program designed to help you and law enforcement prevent terrorist activities. The following scenes are dramatic recreations of real calls made by people reporting suspicious behaviors and activity with possible links to terrorism. Police are responding to a call about a strong odor of gasoline coming from inside a 7th-floor apartment.
The fire department was called in first, but when they asked the tenant of the apartment in question to open the door, he refused, so we were called in.
The tenant inside the apartment refuses to let the police in. Even as they use a key, the tenant fights to keep them out by barricading the front door. Finally, police force their way in.
The first thing officers saw on entering the apartment was a gun case.
Partner gun.
The next thing they saw was an AK-47 assault rifle. So they're less than 10 seconds in, and they've already spotted serious pieces of weaponry. They're concerned about a suspect with a weapon, and maybe booby traps or improvised explosive devices. They're on high alert securing the apartment, and then they come across stacks of money in plain view and gun parts strewn about. Their assessment was that this was an organized crime scene, but there was no sign of the suspect.
Outside, the neighbor who had made the original call about the fumes watches as police secure the apartment. Then she suddenly sees something suspicious.
She sees a man, presumably the suspect, up on the 7th-floor balcony, throwing 3 big duffel bags onto the ground. Then, according to the witness, he disappears.
Several officers begin searching for the suspect while others continue their search of the apartment. What they find is evidence of major felony crimes.
He had all kinds of drugs packaged for sale. It was eventually estimated to be close to $100,000 in street value.
Then, in another room of the apartment,
in front of a large window overlooking the Federal Reserve, which was right across the street, was a high-powered pair of binoculars. Officers looked through them, and they could see with crystal clarity right into the building. Now they're thinking terrorism.
It took the coordinated efforts of several federal agencies to find the suspect and arrest him. He is now facing a number of felony charges, including the manufacturing and alteration of assault weapons, counterfeiting, and various drug charges.
If that one neighbor hadn't called in, we might never have tracked this guy down. And this guy turned out to be a real bad guy, maybe associated with foreign organized crime or terrorism. We need the public's help.
In a quiet residential neighborhood, a man is working late into the night. Suddenly, there is chaos. Within seconds, a concerned neighbor calls 911.
I get a call in the middle of the night from a fire captain who says, "Hey, Eric, I'm out on this call. It's an explosion, and it looks suspicious."
You can come out and give us a hand, take a look at it.
When I arrive on the scene, I see a van that's exploded. While studying the scene, the fire captain shows me a steel tank that's in the back of the vehicle. This thick metal top to the tank had blown off and right out of the van. This was a powerful explosion, and it was amazing that nobody got seriously hurt.
The scene is chaotic, but through the chaos, Officer Kirk quickly determines that something is not right.
I could smell gasoline. You could smell it from some distance away. I had heard in roll call that there had been some fuel thefts, and the concern that the money from the resale of fuel might be funding terrorist activity. So right away, I'm thinking about that.
Officer Kirk's suspicions increase after he interviews the man working on the van.
The guy who was welding supports for the metal tank said he was strengthening the support so they can hold water, and it just exploded. Water isn't combustible, so that didn't make sense. You can also see an oily sheen in the water.
After drawing some samples from the tank and taking photographs, Officer Quirk reports his suspicions that it was a retrofitted fuel tank to the Major Crimes Division. His instincts are good.
They already had been looking into the fuel thefts. My report was a key piece of the puzzle because the vehicle owner led to links that we didn't have.
A concerned citizen's phone call led to arrests in this case. The police need your help. If you see something, say something. It's quick and easy.
Police work is always about the community and the police working together.
Report online at iWatchLA.org. Click Suspicious Behaviors to get specific examples of the types of behaviors and activities to report. Also, click on specific industries to learn more about potential indicators of terrorist activity. The iWatch site can be translated into more than a dozen different languages. Completing a report is quick and easy. Log on to iWatchLA.org to learn more. Remember, your awareness reported to law enforcement can help predict and prevent attacks before they happen.